The fluorescent lights of Chicago Memorial Hospital buzzed overhead as Maya Carter doubled over, her water breaking in the middle of the waiting room. The sharp pain tore through her abdomen like lightning, and she grabbed the nearest chair, her knuckles turning white. Oh God, her grandmother Eloise rushed to her side, fumbling with her phone. Baby, breathe. Just breathe. Grandma, I can't, Maya gasped, sweat beading on her dark skin as another contraction hit. It's too early. It's too early. Two nurses appeared with a wheelchair, their movements swift and practiced. They lifted Maya into it as she cried out, her hand instinctively going to her swollen belly. 8 months. She'd made it 8 months without him knowing. 8 months of silence. 8 months of pretending she could do this alone. We need to know if there's a father we should contact, one nurse said as they wheeled her toward the delivery wing. Eloise's face crumpled. Her wrinkled hands shook as she pulled out her phone, scrolling through contacts she swore she'd deleted. But a grandmother never really deletes anything. Not when it comes to the man who broke her granddaughter's heart. Not when that man was Joon-Ho Park. I'm calling him, Eloise whispered, her voice breaking. No, Maya tried to say, but another contraction stole her breath. 7,000 miles away in Seoul, Joon-Ho Park sat in his private office overlooking the glittering cityscape. His tailored black suit was immaculate, his dark hair swept back perfectly. But his eyes were hollow. They'd been hollow for 8 months, 2 weeks, and 3 days. Not that he was counting. The whiskey in his glass remained untouched. He couldn't even find comfort in that anymore. His phone rang. Unknown number. Chicago area code. He almost didn't answer. But something in his gut twisted, and he picked up. Mr. Park. An elderly woman's voice, thick with tears. This is Eloise Carter. Maya's grandmother. Joon-Ho's heart stopped. He stood so abruptly his chair crashed backward. Is she? She's in labor. Chicago Memorial. The baby, Eloise's voice broke. Your baby is coming. The phone slipped from Joon-Ho's hand, clattering on the marble floor. His normally composed face went pale. Baby. His baby. Maya had been pregnant when she left him. Get my plane ready, he barked at his assistant through the intercom. Now. Hold on if you're still here, subscribe now, drop a comment and give a like to keep these stories alive, trust me. It gets even crazier. Now let's continue. 12 months earlier, Maya Carter had walked into the Park Corporation building with a portfolio under her arm and determination in her stride. She'd just graduated top of her class at Northwestern with a degree in international business. She spoke fluent Korean, Japanese, and Mandarin. She was overqualified for an assistant position, but the Park Corporation was legendary, even if rumors swirled about its less-than-legal connections. The elevator doors opened on the top floor, and she stepped into a world of glass and steel. The receptionist barely looked up. You're late. I'm 3 minutes early, Maya corrected, checking her watch. For Mr. Park, that's late. Maya bit back a retort and was escorted to a corner office that seemed to touch the sky. And there he was. Joon-Ho Park. 32 years old and already running an empire. His reputation preceded him, brilliant, ruthless, untouchable. He didn't look up from his papers when she entered. You're the candidate from Northwestern, he said in English, his accent slight but present. Maya Carter. Yes, sir. Your Korean is fluent. She switched languages seamlessly. Yes, I studied abroad in Seoul for 2 years. That made him look up. His dark eyes assessed her with an intensity that made her spine straighten. Most men looked at Maya and saw her beauty first, her rich dark skin, her natural curls, her curves. Joon-Ho Park looked at her like he was reading a balance sheet. You're overqualified for this position. I'm aware. Then why are you here? Maya met his gaze steadily. Because I want to learn from the best. And because I don't scare easily. Something flickered in his expression. Almost like amusement. Almost. You should, he said simply. This isn't a normal corporation, Miss Carter. I know exactly what this is, Mr. Park. I'm here anyway. He studied her for a long moment, then nodded once. You start Monday. Don't be late. As she left his office, Maya's hands were shaking. But not from fear. From something else entirely. Something electric that had passed between them when their eyes met. Monday came fast. Maya arrived at 6:30 a.m. to find Joon-Ho already at his desk, jacket off, sleeves rolled up. He'd been there all night by the look of the coffee cups. "Good morning, Mr. Park." He glanced up, surprise crossing his features. "You actually came early. You said not to be late." She set down a fresh coffee, black, no sugar, the way the company file said he liked it. "Your schedule for today. I've reorganized it to give you more time between meetings. You were double booked at 2 p.m. Joon-Ho took the tablet from her, scrolling through. His eyebrow raised incrementally. "You accessed my private calendar. I'm your assistant. That's my job. You've been here for 30 minutes. 37, Maya corrected. This time he definitely smiled. Just a ghost of one, but it was there. The first month was brutal. Joon-Ho worked 18-hour days and expected her to match him. She learned quickly that his business had two faces, the legitimate pharmaceutical company on the surface, and the vast underground network beneath. Money laundering through nightclubs. Protection rackets disguised as security services. Connections to every powerful family in Seoul's underworld. She also learned that Joon-Ho was more complicated than his reputation suggested. Like the time she found him on the phone at 2 a.m., speaking softly in Korean to someone. When he hung up, his expression was gentle. Almost vulnerable. "Everything okay?" she'd asked. "My mother. She can't sleep." He'd looked almost embarrassed. "I call her. Tell her stories until she does." Or the afternoon she discovered him writing a check for $1 million to a children's hospital. No press release. No photo op. Just quiet generosity. "Don't tell anyone," he'd said when he caught her staring. "Why not? It's good. In my world, kindness is weakness. They'd use it against me." That's when Maya started to see him. Really see him. Not the mafia boss. The man. 3 months in, everything shifted. They were working late again, reviewing contracts for a new shipping deal. Maya's eyes burned from staring at screens, and she rubbed them tiredly. "You should go home," Joon-Ho said, not looking up from his laptop. "So should you. I don't have a home. I have a penthouse I sleep in sometimes." The sadness in his voice made her chest ache. "That's not the same thing." "No," he agreed quietly. "It's not." Maya stood, stretching. "There's a Korean place 3 blocks down that's open late. Want to get real food instead of the garbage from the vending machine?" Joon-Ho looked up then, surprise clear on his face. "You're asking me to dinner?" "I'm asking my boss if he wants to not die of malnutrition. There's a difference." He considered for a moment, then closed his laptop. "Okay." The restaurant was tiny, tucked into a basement, run by a grandmother who clearly knew Joon-Ho. She fussed over him in rapid Korean, pinching his cheeks like he was 10 years old. "She says I'm too skinny," he translated, looking embarrassed. Maya grinned. She's not wrong. They ate kimchi jjigae and grilled mackerel. Maya watched Joon-Ho relax degree by degree, his shoulders loosening, his expression softening. He told her about growing up in Seoul, the youngest son of a powerful family. The pressure. The expectations. The moment he realized his father wasn't a businessman but a crime lord. "I was 12, he said, staring into his soup. "I saw my father kill a man in our living room. Over a debt. Just," he made a gesture. "Gone. God, Joon-Ho." He looked up at her use of his first name. Something sparked between them. "I told myself I'd be different. That I'd build something legitimate. But the family business, it's like quicksand. The more you fight, the deeper you sink." Maya reached across the table, covering his hand with hers. "You're still trying though. The hospital donations. The way you treat your employees. That matters." His hand turned, fingers intertwining with hers. "You see me. Actually see me. Do you know how rare that is? Maybe people aren't looking close enough." They stayed like that, hands joined across cheap vinyl tablecloth, until the grandmother started sweeping around them pointedly. After that night, everything changed. Joon-Ho started finding excuses to keep Maya late. Meetings that didn't quite need her presence but where he wanted her there anyway. Business dinners where he'd introduce her as his essential right hand. His eyes would find hers across crowded rooms, and the air would charge with something unspoken. Maya tried to keep it professional. She really did. But it was like trying to stop a tidal wave with her bare hands. The breaking point came 6 months into her employment. They were in Busan for a meeting with another family, the Kims. Joon-Ho had been tense all day, his jaw tight. The meeting was in a private room at an exclusive restaurant, and Maya sat behind him, taking notes. Mr. Kim was an older man, his face scarred and his eyes cold. He kept looking at Maya with an expression that made her skin crawl. "You bring your pet to business meetings now, Park?" Kim said in Korean, gesturing at Maya with his chin. Joon-Ho's hand clenched on the table. "Miss Carter is my assistant. Show respect." "Respect?" Kim laughed. "For this. You're getting soft, boy. Your father would be ashamed. My father is dead. And you'll address Miss Carter properly or this meeting is over." The room went silent. Kim's men shifted, hands moving toward weapons. Maya's heart hammered, but she kept her face blank. Kim stared at Joon-Ho for a long moment, then smiled slowly. "You're fucking her. We're done here." Joon-Ho stood, buttoning his jacket. "Maya, we're leaving." Kim's voice followed them out. "Careful, Park. Women are liabilities in our world. Especially foreign ones." In the car back to Seoul, Joon-Ho was silent, staring out the window. His driver kept his eyes carefully on the road. "I'm sorry," Maya said quietly. "For what?" "For making things complicated." He was right. Don't." Joon-Ho's voice was sharp. He turned to her, and his eyes were blazing. "Don't apologize for existing. Kim is a dinosaur. He belongs to an old world. Your world though. Unfortunately." They arrived at her apartment building. The driver pulled over, and Maya reached for the door handle. But Joon-Ho's hand caught her wrist. "Wait." She turned back. His face was inches from hers. "He was right about one thing," Joon-Ho said softly. "I do want you. I have since the day you walked into my office and didn't flinch." Maya's breath caught. "Joon-Ho. Tell me to stop. Tell me this is inappropriate, that I'm your boss, that this is wrong. Tell me, and I'll never mention it again." She should. She absolutely should. This was a disaster waiting to happen. But when she opened her mouth, what came out was, "I can't. Because I want you to." He kissed her then, one hand cradling her face like she was something precious. It was gentle and desperate all at once, tasting of longing and danger and possibility. When they broke apart, they were both breathing hard. "This is insane," Maya whispered. "I know. It'll never work. I know. We should stop before we start." Joon-Ho smiled against her lips. Too late. They fell into each other like people drowning, like this was the only air that mattered. Maya had never felt anything like it, the way he touched her with reverence, the way he whispered her name like a prayer. Afterwards, in her small bedroom with city lights filtering through the curtains, Joon-Ho held her close. "I'm not a good man, Maya," he said into her hair. "I don't need good. I need real. Real is dangerous. I'm not afraid." He kissed her forehead. "You should be. Because now that I have you, I won't let go." For 3 months, they existed in a bubble of stolen moments and secret happiness. Joon-Ho would send his driver away and take the train to her apartment, showing up with takeout and that soft smile he only wore for her. Maya would fall asleep in his arms, listening to his heartbeat, feeling safe in a way she'd never experienced. He was different with her. Not the cold mafia boss. Just Joon-Ho. The man who made terrible jokes. Who sang off-key in the shower. Who watched romantic comedies with her and pretended he wasn't crying at the endings. "I love you," he said one night, his voice barely audible. They were on her tiny balcony, sharing a blanket under the stars. "I don't think I've ever loved anyone before. Not like this." Maya turned in his arms, cupping his face. "I love you too. So much it terrifies me. We'll make this work. I'll find a way to step back from the family business. Build something clean. Something worthy of you. You're already worthy. He kissed her then, slow and deep, and Maya believed. She believed they could have this. Could be this. God, she was naive. The end came swiftly and brutally. Maya was at the office late, organizing files for the next day's meeting. Joon-Ho was in a conference call in his private office, the door closed. His phone, left on her desk, buzzed with a message. She glanced at it reflexively and felt her heart stop. It was from someone named Father Cho. The preview read, "The arrangement with the Minute family is confirmed. Your engagement to Minute G will be announced next month. This alliance will secure our future." Engagement. The word echoed in Maya's head like a gunshot. She stood, her hands shaking, and walked to Joon-Cho's office. Through the glass, she could see him on the phone, gesturing. Looking stressed. She knocked. He glanced up, smiled when he saw her, and gestured for her to come in. "I'll call you back," he said into the phone, hanging up. "Hey, what's? Who's Minute G?" Maya's voice was hollow. Joon-Cho's face went carefully blank. "Where did you hear that name?" "Your phone. There was a message about your engagement." He closed his eyes. "Maya. Is it true? Are you engaged to someone?" "It's not, it's complicated." "Then uncomplicate it. Right now." Joon-Ho stood, moving toward her, but she stepped back. The hurt on his face gutted her, but the pain in her chest was worse. The Minute family controls the Southern Territories. They're more powerful than us. My family has been negotiating an alliance through marriage for years. I've been fighting it, but what? But you decided to string me along while you had a fiancé waiting? No. His voice rose. I don't want Minute G. I don't want any of this. I want you. But you're going to marry her anyway. The silence was deafening. I'm trying to find a way out, Joon-Ho said desperately. But if I refuse outright, they'll see it as an insult. They could go to war with us. People will die, Maya. Hundreds of people. So instead, I die? Just a little bit. Every day I watch you marry someone else. I'll fix this. Give me time. Time? Maya laughed bitterly. How much time do you need? Because every second I stand here feels like drowning. She turned to leave, but his hand caught her arm. Please. Don't walk away. We can. There is no we. The words ripped out of her. There never was. I was just the distraction before you did your duty. That's not true. Maya, I love you. Love isn't enough, Joon-Ho. Not in your world. She pulled free and walked out. Behind her, she heard him calling her name, heard something crash. But she didn't turn back. She couldn't. The next 2 weeks were a blur. Maya tried to work, tried to pretend her heart wasn't shattered into a million pieces. Joon-Ho looked increasingly haggard, his eyes shadowed. He tried to talk to her a dozen times, but she shut him down. Miss Carter, please. Mr. Park, the Kim contracts need your signature. Maya, can we just? Mr. Park, your 2 o'clock is here. Professional. Cold. It was the only way to survive. Then came the night that ended everything. Maya was leaving the office when a black sedan pulled up. Men in suits stepped out, not Joon-Cho's men. They moved with military precision, surrounding her. Miss Carter, one said in English. Mr. Minute would like a word. Terror shot through her. I don't know any Mr. Minute. Oh, you know his daughter. Or you will soon. Get in the car. They didn't give her a choice. The drive took 30 minutes. They brought her to a warehouse on the outskirts of Seoul, empty except for a single chair under a spotlight. She was pushed into it. Mr. Minute appeared from the shadows. He was younger than she'd expected, maybe 50, with sharp features and colder eyes than any man she'd ever met. Maya Carter, he said, circling her. The American girl who thinks she can play in our world. I don't know what you want. I want you to understand your place. Park Joon-Ho is marrying my daughter. This alliance has been arranged for years. And you, he stopped in front of her, leaning down. You are an inconvenience. I'll leave. I'll go back to Chicago. You'll never see me again. Not enough. Men like Joon-Ho, they're sentimental. He might come after you. Try to have both. That's unacceptable. Minute straightened, nodding to his men. One stepped forward with a folder. Divorce papers. You'll sign these, claiming a marriage that never happened. A clean break. Official. Binding. We're not married. We both know that's irrelevant. This is about sending a message. You sign, you walk away, you disappear. Or, he let the threat hang. Maya's hand shook as she signed. Each stroke of the pen felt like death. Good girl, Minute said, taking the papers. Now get out of Korea. Tonight. If I see you here tomorrow, you won't see the day after. They dumped her back at her apartment. Maya packed with numb hands, tears streaming down her face. She didn't tell Joon-Ho. Didn't say goodbye. What could she say? At the airport, waiting for her flight, she felt it. The nausea. The dizziness. Oh God. She bought a pregnancy test from the airport pharmacy. In the tiny bathroom stall, watching the 2 pink lines appear, Maya Carter realized her nightmare was just beginning. She got on the plane anyway. In Chicago, she threw herself into survival mode. Picked up 2 jobs, one at a non-profit, one waitressing nights. Her grandmother Eloise took her in without question, just held her while she cried. That man hurt you, Eloise said, anger in her voice. He didn't mean to. Baby, that don't matter. He still did. Maya didn't tell Joon-Ho about the pregnancy. How could she? He was probably married by now. Living his arranged life. She was just a memory. She couldn't curse him with this too. The months crawled by. Her belly grew. She worked until her feet swelled, saved every penny. Built a nursery in her grandmother's spare room with second-hand furniture and hope. But she missed him. God, she missed him. Late at night, she'd scroll through old photos on her phone, his smile, his eyes, the way he looked at her like she was his entire world. Was any of it real? She had to believe it was. For the baby. For herself. Now, in the hospital delivery room, Maya screamed as another contraction hit. The monitors beeped frantically. A doctor rushed in. We're losing the baby's heartbeat, someone said. We need to prep for emergency C-section. No, Maya gasped. No, please. We don't have a choice. Eloise gripped her hand. Baby, you gotta let them help. They were wheeling her towards surgery when the delivery room doors burst open. Joon-Ho Park stood there, chest heaving, his perfect suit rumpled and his hair wild. He looked like he'd run through hell to get here. Their eyes met. Maya, he breathed. Then everything happened at once. Nurses tried to push him out. The doctor was yelling about sterilization. But Joon-Ho moved with the lethal grace that made him dangerous, shoving past them to Maya's side. Sir, you can't. I'm the father, he said, his voice leaving no room for argument. I'm staying. Maya wanted to scream at him, push him away, protect her heart. But when his hand found hers, she gripped it like a lifeline. You came, she whispered. Did you think I wouldn't? You're supposed to be married. His jaw clenched. I'll explain everything. After. Right now, just hold on. Hold on for me. They rushed her into surgery. Joon-Ho stayed beside her the entire time, masked and gowned, his hand never leaving hers. Maya felt the drugs pulling her under, felt the strange tugging pressure. Then, a cry. High and perfect and alive. It's a girl, the doctor said, holding up a tiny, perfect creature. Joon-Ho's face crumpled. Tears streamed down his cheeks as they placed the baby on Maya's chest for a brief moment before whisking her to the warming table. She's beautiful, Maya sobbed. Joon-Ho, she's so beautiful. Like her mother, he whispered, kissing Maya's forehead. You did it, baby. You did it. Maya's eyes fluttered closed as exhaustion claimed her. She woke hours later in a recovery room, her body aching. The first thing she saw was Joon-Ho in a chair beside her bed, holding a tiny bundle. He was singing softly in Korean, rocking gently. Hey, Maya's voice was hoarse. His head snapped up. You're awake. How do you feel? Like I got hit by a truck. Is she? She's perfect. 10 fingers, 10 toes. Healthy lungs, trust me, we all heard them. 5 pounds, 8 ounces. His voice was thick with emotion. Maya, she's ours. We have a daughter. The reality hit her like a wave. A daughter. Their daughter. Can I? Joon-Ho immediately stood, carefully transferring the baby to Maya's arms. She was tiny, with a dusting of dark hair and Maya's nose. When her eyes cracked open, they were dark and alert. Hi, baby, Maya whispered. Hi, sweet girl. I'm your mama. The baby made a small noise, and Maya's heart exploded. Joon-Ho sat on the edge of the bed, his hand on Maya's shoulder. What should we name her? I was thinking, Sora. It means sky in Korean, right? Sora, Joon-Ho repeated, testing it. Then his voice broke. It's perfect. She's perfect. He looked at Maya, and the anguish in his eyes was devastating. Why didn't you tell me? I couldn't. You were getting married. No, he interrupted firmly. I wasn't. Maya's heart stuttered. What? I never married Minute G. I refused. 2 days after you left, I called off the entire arrangement. But the alliance. I don't give a damn about alliances. Not when they cost me you. He took her hand carefully, mindful of the 4. I've spent 8 months trying to find you. You disappeared. Changed your number. Your grandmother wouldn't talk to me. I thought, his voice cracked. I thought I'd lost you forever. Tears streamed down Maya's face. Minute threatened me. He said if I didn't leave, didn't sign divorce papers for a marriage that didn't exist, He what? Joon-Ho's voice went dangerous. Maya, what did he do? He scared me. And I was trying to protect you. I thought if I just disappeared, you could have the life you were supposed to have. The life I'm supposed to have is with you. He stood abruptly, pacing. Do you understand what these months have been like? Not knowing where you were. If you were safe. I've been dying, Maya. Every single day. I'm sorry, she sobbed. I'm so sorry. Joon-Ho returned to the bed, gathering both Maya and Sora into his arms as carefully as he could. No more running. No more protecting me by leaving. We face everything together from now on. Understand? But your world. I'm leaving it. I've been liquidating assets, transferring control. My brother can run the family business. I'm done. Maya pulled back to look at him. You can't just leave. Watch me. I already have buyers for the clubs, the shipping companies. The legitimate pharmaceutical business is being restructured. I'm keeping a few ventures, the clean ones. Everything else, gone. Joon-Ho, that's your entire life. No. He cupped her face. You're my life. You and Sora. This, he gestured vaguely. This is just money and power. It means nothing without you. Are you sure? Instead of answering, he pulled something from his pocket. A small velvet box. Maya's breath caught as he opened it, revealing a simple but stunning diamond ring. I bought this the day after our first kiss. I've been carrying it for a year, waiting for the right moment. There's never going to be a perfect time. Our life is messy and complicated and probably always will be. But I know that I want to spend every messy, complicated day with you. He got down on one knee beside the hospital bed. Maya Carter, will you marry me? For real this time? Maya looked at this man, this powerful, dangerous, gentle, broken, beautiful man kneeling before her with their daughter sleeping in her arms. She thought about all the reasons to say no. All the logical, sensible reasons. Then she thought about the way he looked at their daughter. The way he'd run through hell to be here. The way his hand felt in hers. Yes, she whispered. Yes, I'll marry you. Joon-Ho's smile was blinding. He slipped the ring on her finger, then kissed her, soft and sweet and full of promise. A nurse knocked and entered, startling them apart. Sorry to interrupt, but we need to check on Mom and baby. As the nurse bustled around, Eloise appeared in the doorway. Her eyes were red from crying, but when she saw Joon-Ho, her face hardened. You, she said, pointing at him. Hallway. Now. Joon-Ho looked at Maya, who nodded. Go. Face the music. He followed Eloise into the corridor. Through the window, Maya could see her grandmother poking him in the chest, clearly giving him hell. Joon-Ho took it all, his head bowed respectfully. Then Eloise's expression cracked, and she pulled him into a hug. Joon-Cho's shoulders shook as he hugged her back. When they returned, Eloise's eyes were soft. That man loves you, baby. I can see it clear as day. But if he ever hurts you again. I won't, Joon-Ho said firmly. Never again. I swear it on our daughter's life. Eloise nodded, satisfied. Good. Now let me hold my great-grandbaby. The next few days were a blur of feeding schedules, diaper changes, and sleepless nights. Joon-Ho never left the hospital, sleeping in the uncomfortable chair, learning how to swaddle and burp and soothe. Maya watched him transform before her eyes into a father, patient, attentive, hopelessly devoted. I've never been so tired in my life, he said on the third morning, dark circles under his eyes, baby spit up on his designer shirt. Welcome to parenthood. It's perfect, he said, gazing at Sora with wonder. Everything I never knew I needed. They were preparing for discharge when Joon-Cho's phone rang. His expression went cold when he saw the number. I need to take this, he said, stepping into the hallway. Maya couldn't hear the conversation, but she saw his body language change, shoulders back, voice sharp. When he returned, his jaw was tight. Minute knows, he said simply. About you. About Sora. Minute knows. And his coming. What happens when a powerful crime family discovers Joon-Cho's secret? Will Maya and baby Sora be safe? Can Joon-Ho finally escape his past, or will it destroy everything he loves? But here's the thing, if this video doesn't hit 50 likes and 50 subscribers, you'll have to wait even longer to find out what happens next. So right now, smash that subscribe button, hit the bell so you don't miss part 2, and drop a comment telling me, do you think Joon-Ho can protect his family? Or is Minute too powerful? The most liked comment will get a shout out in part 2. Don't leave Maya and Sora hanging, subscribe now, and I'll see you in the next part where everything explodes. Thanks for watching.